Hi, my name is Jenna Moses, and today we are going to be discussing CRISPR-Cas9 technology and how this technology can affect agriculture, especially when pertaining to livestock. So the first question that you guys may have is, what is CRISPR? So CRISPR, which stands for Clustered Regularly Interspaced Short Palindromic Repeats, is a genome editing technology. According to yourgenome.org, CRISPR is, quote, currently the simplest, most versatile, and precise method of genetic manipulation, end quote. So CRISPR-Cas9 consists of two different molecules. First, an enzyme called Cas9 that cuts the DNA at a specific location. Then you have the guide RNA, or gRNA, which is a small piece of RNA that guides the Cas9 enzyme to the specific part of the DNA that is desired to be cut. So, what are CRISPR's effects on agriculture? So CRISPR can genetically edit livestock to do the following: poll cattle before birth, which means that it will make it more humane for dairy cattle that need to be dehorned. It can create more heat-resistant cattle so they can be raised in warmer climates. It can give livestock resistance against diseases. It can genetically castrate cattle, and it can improve meat quality and more. So, here with us today to talk about their article, Is CRISPR the Next Big Thing for Agriculture? Is the author Campbell Coyle. So Campbell, can you please summarize one of these paragraphs in your article that talks about CRISPR?
Well, something that I like to talk about is, think of this, a new tool that can be used to control genes that get expressed in various types of organism. This gives the ability to get rid of less desirable traits, like a small frame, and add more desirable traits, like more muscle mass in cattle.
So that's really fascinating. So in your article, you discussed gene drive. Can you please explain what gene drive is?
Certainly. A new theory that scientists have discovered with CRISPR is that they can modify not just the genes of a single organism, but entire species, as the new concept is called, gene drive. Take this situation for example. A farmer has always had a hard time with the muscle mass of his cattle. Despite his best efforts, he can increase their muscle. Then he hears about gene drive. With gene drive, he can get a bull that has a desired trait, in this situation, muscle mass. This will be passed down to the future offspring, no matter what senses with the gene drive.
So gene drive is when you genetically modify one of the parents, and so their future offspring will have that same genetically modified trait in them already.
Yes, it would always have the same trait. Like if it's a trait you really want, like the muscle mass, it would always be passed down to the future generations no matter what, which can be very helpful for farmers.
Okay, so how do you think that CRISPR is currently changing agriculture?
All in all, CRISPR is currently changing modern agriculture. Agriculture. This can help farmers produce better quality livestock overall. However, CRISPR is still fairly new and more research needs to be done. CRISPR definitely has both benefits and cost, but there is no doubt that CRISPR is the next big thing for livestock.
Okay, so next we're going to be talking about why CRISPR is controversial. So here with us today we have Brady Graves, author of CRISPR, The Terrible Future of Agriculture. So Brady, you are very anti-CRISPR, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so can you please tell me your thoughts on CRISPR?
This method of editing genes in animals is not humane, nor is it a very good thing to do. When you go into messing with the genes of an animal, it is a very precise procedure because if you mess anything up, it can cause defects in the animal or a complete shutdown. This is inhumane because there are always other side effects which could cause the animal stress or pain. Also, animals should be able to produce what they are made to, and people not try to do more than they are capable of.
Very interesting. So in your article you talked about one of the solutions so that you don't have to use CRISPR. So can you please talk about that?
A solution to this problem would be either to buy more animals if you're wanting to produce more, or buy different kinds of animals if you're wanting something different. This would eliminate the inhumane practice of CRISPR and make the animals have a better life.
Thank you, Brady. So now I'm going to be discussing both the pros and cons of CRISPR. So first, let's start with the cons. One con is that it can permanently alter livestock, and that is seen with the gene drive, as it will offer future offspring from that first genetically modified animal. And it's also seen as inhumane to some farmers. Okay, so some of the pros of CRISPR is that it can add desired traits to livestock, such as high muscle mass, as Campbell was discussing earlier. It can also increase efficiency of production agriculture by allowing the animals to grow larger faster. And it has more humane practices like the lack of dehorning if you can pull cattle before birth. And it can also be a one-time edit due to the gene drive concept.